consistent.
Welcome to The Basement. Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to The Basement. I'm Nolo.
I am Jose, your other host. This is The Basement NY.
For now on, I'm going to introduce you as I'm the host, Noel. This is my co-host, Jose.
Don't even start that. Don't start that, bitch.
And today we have a special guest in the studio. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Donna.
All right, we're gonna have to do everything all over again.
Why? Is that recording?
No, but the
Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to The Basement. I'm your host, Nolo. This is my co-host. Introduce yourself, co-host.
I'm going to use the first one and edit it. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to use the first one and edit it. Hopefully, my mic was on. It probably wasn't. I'm Jose. What's up, y'all? And today we got two special guests of the opposite species. And we're going to let...
He failed science. He doesn't understand.
Last time I checked, I was human.
I feel like there's so much difference between the male and the female that it should be like different species.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm going to let our guests introduce yourself. Go ahead to my left.
My name is Marilyn.
Hey.
Hey.
Marilyn was changing her voice because she was like her first time recording. So her voice instinctively changed into like a British woman.
has a
Could
good
definitely
voice.
be some British lady if you want me to.
I like this. I like the way this is going so
I
far.
remember your British accent.
And then we have...
I'm Donna. Hi.
All right. So basically, the first time I had a female guest on the show, they were people that I know from other circles. We know each other from the circle of church.
Boo.
Boo. Boring topic. Turn off this episode now. You should have read the bio. Basically tell us a little bit about yourself because I know you guys have like different careers, totally different careers. You are not mothers.
No. We're not. We're not mothers.
One.
Lucky you.
You act like you're a mother.
I got 4 kids, man. It's crazy.
You're married?
I am.
No. Okay.
I am married with no kids.
Is that common?
Not in the Hispanic community, apparently.
It sounds like fun.
If you're not popping out 5, you're not normal.
That's funny because we're planning on one
yeah,
more.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Really?
What is wrong with you?
What do you have? Like how many?
4 boys.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. So when my oldest leaves, then
What
drop
if you get
drop
another
that
boy?
seed.
Time out. I feel like we need to talk. No.
What if you get another boy?
It's
Well
over.
then, praise God.
So the Christians that decided to stay and after hearing that, they're like, nope, not Christian. Change it. That's exactly what just happened there. So guys, if you want to, divulge your information, you don't have to. You could give us your socials. We could go shopping. It's all up to you guys. But tell us, Marilyn, what do you do?
I am a assistant social worker. So I work with people with HIV and AIDS in New York City. That's what I do.
We're going to hear background noises of people playing upstairs music. You may hear a gunshot. Definitely a fire truck.
That's all right. I was born and raised
You
in Red
should go
Hook.
up there and like.
Hey.
Well, now
I'm
it's
used to
nice.
this.
You should have stood there. It was nice. Though.
You should go up there and like counsel them and like see if they need your assistance.
So you're a
Okay.
counselor
Yes.
for...
HIV and AIDS individuals in New York City.
My mother-in-law used to do that.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah. It's definitely way better now.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of treatments now.
There's a whole lot of treatment. You're not dying from that anymore. And there's prevention, so.
You ever saw that? I'm sorry, this might be a little off topic.
Wow, he started laughing.
Right now. Why is he laughing? I don't know.
In the,
I want to apologize for anyone going through this. Hopefully, this story is not related.
it's gonna be related.
Oh my god, I love
So,
this show.
you remember
How you
the?
get your client?
Do you guys remember the Chappelle Show?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a scene where they were like talking about Magic Johnson living so long, and there's
Yes.
a doctor saying, "We found the cure," and it's just a pile of money. He's like, "Money is the cure for AIDS."
AIDS. And true. Or was back in the day.
Yeah, not anymore.
Definitely
Yeah.
was back in the day. Back in the day was like...
So what, they have like pills now? What do they do?
Yeah, they have pills. You
Yeah.
take one pill once a day, and now they have like a plan B. So if you think you had sex with someone that had HIV, you just pop the pill and you don't get it.
Yeah.
What? Plan B to stop that?
It's like a plan
It's
B.
not Plan B.
Oh, okay.
It's like a plan B.
I thought it was Plan B. I was like, whoa, Plan B.
Plan B is doing all this.
Plan B is multitasking.
Plan B is both. What are the side effects now?
Plan B and C.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, so,
All
you
right.
know.
But
So-
sorry, can I ask a question?
No,
Yeah,
you
no,
can.
please.
And
Are people who get, like, do you deal with people that just get the diagnosis?
So my job is to educate people. Whether you've been living with it for a long time and they're not taking the medication, then you're gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
Or people that are newly diagnosed, then they're coming and we're just educating them. But mostly we're educating the family because people, us Hispanics, we're all
Yeah.
Hispanics here, right? They're ridiculous.
Do they understand that it's not a death sentence anymore?
Not their family members. So if we have to live with that on a day to day, then that's when
Yeah.
you come to me, and we try to help you guys. But help, the client.
In Albany, one of my aunts has AIDS. Actually, my grandfather had AIDS too.
Wow.
And the first time I ever smoked weed with her, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be scary. But then, in your mind, it's all right.
Right.
but you thought you were
when it
gonna
comes
get
back,
AIDS
like,
by smoking
Are we
the same
smoking
blunt?
AIDS right now?
I mean,
We're smoking AIDS.
my clients wash their dishes with Clorox
Why?
because they think that that's the only way to
Keep them from.
spreading it to the other family members.
Because they're not informed, or
because they're not informed.
You know what's crazy?
Bring that.
My grandmother washes dishes with Clorox anyway. So it doesn't matter.
wait, what?
My grandmother washes dishes with Clorox anyway.
Well, maybe
She
they
cleans
know,
everything with Clorox.
Oh, was that your grandfather's wife?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry,
maybe
but
she's concerned.
I'm almost the same way. You're guaranteed to get it clean.
Yeah.
There's
I
no.
think is that even safe?
So
I don't know. That's why we came out like
think
this.
so.
when
Okay.
first of all, so
The
when
whole
we
family's crazy.
when we lived together in the church dorm in our last church, first of all, cleaning for guys, right? Right. So imagine a dorm full of guys.
Everybody's like, I didn't make that mess.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Oh, you didn't poop this whole week. You did not take a poop at all. You didn't pee. We need to take you to the hospital, basically. We discovered that, you know what? We don't even have to clean, just spray it down. So we would grab these spray bottles and go in, spraying the whole entire bathroom down.
Okay.
And then we'll walk away.
Like
Don't
disinfected.
Like, do you
We're
wipe
safe
it?
now.
You just spray it.
we let gravity take its nature course.
We take
And
gravity.
all the mold and the corners and the dirtiness would just
It's like magic.
disappear.
It's like
We
magic.
come back and it's like,
Who cleaned in here? It's so
was
clean.
it me?
Thank God for women.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about in the
This
car.
place would just be like the world would just be like dirt caked on stuff with Clorox.
The dirt would be on the
Clorox
floor.
film.
That
Because
third
we
wood.
spray bleach on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be like a film of bleach on everything.
You get a little squeegee and just squeegee the crap out of the dirt right out of the place. Listen, I clean my bathroom with the power washer that I have in the front. Like my whole bathroom. I power washed it.
Wow.
He put a power washer and power washed his bathroom.
I went in the toilet.
My God.
There's no way this is dirty now. And then I sprayed it down with Clorox and I left to work.
Clorox, that's the magic.
So it is beyond clean.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to give it a little nudge and it tightens up. That's because you keep touching it. You don't know what you're doing. Look at his
4
face.
fingers.
4 fingers.
I feel like. Are you sure this isn't?
The closer, the more better. You're
Okay.
in that person's ear, you know?
I just don't want to be like super loud.
No. Because I control all the levels and blah, blah. No one wants to hear any of this.
Okay.
So, what do you do?
I'm an intelligence analyst.
Damn, you see
Thank
those
For
two
the
words?
CIA?
Well, I started in the Air Force.
Oh,
And
look at his face.
Okay.
then I worked as a civilian contractor for the Department of Defense,
Okay.
For Bush.
doing counterintelligence for Bush. How old do you think I am? Oh wait, the second Bush.
Yeah.
I am that old then. I am that old. I thought you meant the first Bush.
Damn, you just blew yourself up. He was like, catch it. You were like,
Well, actually, no. In the Air Force was the second Bush. When I was with the Department of Defense, it was Obama. Now I work for the private sector, non-governmental companies monitoring threats against those companies.
Like internet, like hackers and stuff like that?
No, I don't do cyber stuff. I don't know anything about cyber. I do. So in the military, I would focus mostly on. I would be assigned regions, and I would study those regions and what was happening in the country politically or back then terrorism was the hot thing, and Then in the Department of Defense, I did counterintelligence, so did that. And then now for the private sector, I monitor threats against my company. So
Like what kind of threats?
Time out.
anything, terrorism, active
Seriously?
shooter.
You just activated his nerdism. Like I got you, son. First
Do
of
you
all,
carry weapons while you're working?
I don't have weapons, no.
Oh, you should.
hold on a second.
I would just because I could.
You would know if it's coming, though, right?
I was in the
You
Air
would
Force.
know
We
it's
weren't-
coming, right?
We didn't do weapons.
I don't need a weapon. I already see what they're doing. Way before they don't even know where I am. My question is, I have like a million. First of all, thank you for your service. Obviously.
You're welcome. Thank you for saying that.
Thanks, Obama.
Why you gotta?
I want to thank the president of this country that have done such a good job. All right.
The current president?
Thank you, Bush.
Oh,
Thank you, Obama.
not Trump.
Thank you, Trump.
We just lost all our audience.
And thank you, Trump, for the next 4 years too.
Oh, we definitely lost the audience. So,
Have you?
Might have lost me.
If you watch the debates, you probably feel the same way.
No.
oh, did you watch the last debate?
Did you?
I
Watch
didn't watch the last debate, but
It was
I
horrible.
got the highlights.
It's horrible.
So
A nightmare. So you did the Air Force and you carried that same career into.
yeah. Well, I took a break because I was just done. I was fed up with all of it. But then I got offered a position in D.C., so I took it and got back into it. Now I'm here.
Does anyone else in your family serve?
No.
So you were the first to be like, yo, I'm out.
Yes. And I joined because basically I was in a situation where I didn't have anywhere to live. So it wasn't like I also joined before 9/11. So back then you
Joe,
joined.
listen to this.
When you joined, you didn't think anything would happen. So that's why I give my hats off to people that join after 9/11, because pre 9/11 it was a very I'm just gonna get money for school and I'm just gonna travel and I'm just gonna
take a trip to Germany. And
get my degree
Yeah,
and so when I was in, 9/11 happened and then stuff hit the fan. And sorry, beep, sorry.
You put that sound in next.
But yeah, I wasn't from a military background. It was something I never thought in a million years I would do. But I do have a lot of friends that are in or that were in with me and are still in that. It was something that either their families were in it and they always knew they were going to do that. They had like a patriotic kind of duty. And then I also had friends that just always, instead of going to college, they wanted to join the military and travel the world. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people join.
In the Air Force,
Yeah.
did they teach you how to fly planes and stuff?
No.
You were in a different area?
Yeah, so people always ask me that, but to be a pilot, you have to be almost a perfect human being. You have to have these physical
Requirements.
Yeah, you gotta be physically perfect.
Right.
And it has to be your career. When you join the Air Force, you get a career, and you have to be a pilot, you have to pass all the
You
tests.
gotta poop twice a day on certain times.
Put glitter and magic. Yeah.
Pixie dust.
I didn't know I could come on glitter.
I
I don't feel
actually-
bad for myself.
I imagine pilots have pixie dust somewhere stored because they seem like that Top Gun kind
Yeah,
of
you don't have to be a
Yeah.
Top Gun. And what was I gonna say?
They get
Oh,
drunk?
I actually never was really around planes. I mean, I was around planes, but I really wasn't in planes a lot. And I worked in a cubicle, so.
See,
What made you choose Air Force though?
Wow.
I did go to each service when I was thinking of joining. I went to each recruiter. I had a ex-boyfriend at the time whose brother had been in the Air Force, and he was like, you need to go to the Air Force because they treat you the best. We get a lot of crap from the other services, we're the spoiled brats of the military.
because you're women.
No, because we get
Jesus. This guy's already trying to turn it a certain way.
because we get the best treatment. We get the best facilities. We get the best the Air Force is never gonna be in the dirt somewhere with a rifle. We're in hotels and we just get treated the best. So I was like, that's for me.
I'll take that, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, be out in the dirt somewhere.
So you're
Little
saying
bougie.
the Air Force gets the best
They're
treatment?
a little bougie, yes.
Well, I mean, look at the captains. I mean, look at the
Yep.
pilots, right? They all look like Ken dolls.
I was gonna say something about race, but I held back.
Oh,
Right?
you're
Oh,
welcome.
Ken dolls.
What do Ken dolls look like?
White person. Crackers. Where my crackers at? You know where you're at, ladies and gentlemen. Holler at us at thebasementny.com.
I did have
Jesus
I had a
Christ.
Ken doll named Derek.
What?
I had a Ken doll named Derek in the 80s. He was part of Barbie and the Rockers group.
Okay.
Was a thing. He was tan.
He was a person of color.
He might have been. He was super
He
tan.
was biracial.
He might have been. He had a little. I mean, he might have been part Puerto Rican. He was tan. He was tan. He didn't have blue eyes though, but he had like
so
wavy
he's white
hair.
and Puerto Rican.
So all Puerto Ricans are white people with tans.
And then there's me.
No, we love talking about race here. We love it.
We talk about everything controversial is our favorite
I
topic.
have a theory on Puerto Rican men.
Fill us in.
This is gonna be interesting.
What's your theory?
It is gonna be
I
interesting.
actually love Puerto Rican men.
Oh, okay.
They're my favorite.
Wait, are you Puerto Rican?
No.
Okay.
And yeah, I like Puerto Rican men because, so you know, like Hispanic men have this stereotype that they're like cheaters or machismo and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, right there.
It's funny 'cause we talked about this one time. Yeah.
I
This came
found
up.
that to be my experience has been the opposite. So every Puerto Rican man that I have dated has been devoted, loyal, loving,
I said this on the podcast.
Ew, shut
adored
up.
me.
You have been dating bougie Puerto Rican men.
But can I also say something?
Projects?
No.
No.
But I found that like
That-
Puerto
that might have
Rican
changed a
men.
little bit.
Well, one did. I found that Puerto Rican
The one
men.
that beat me, that one, he's the one.
They're like the perfect mix of masculinity, and yet they're still in touch with their emotions, and they communicate, and they also, I find, look to their woman as an equal and a partner, and like,
I've said all this.
have you?
Yeah.
All right.
And I want to add one more thing too
Yeah.
that we kind of talked about. I always said that for some reason the Puerto Rican community, we never had a I don't know if I'm using the right word, but like an adversity towards gay people.
Yeah.
There was always gay people around. We're like, oh yeah.
Mm.
And I always say the Puerto Rican gay people are always the best kind
They
because
are.
they're the ones that love to dance. They want to look
Yeah.
pretty and all that. So we
I know a
I never
couple.
felt, or I never noticed even in the Puerto Rican circles, them being like treating gay people differently.
Ostracized.
Yeah. It was just like, oh yeah, that's we used to call him. There was a guy we used to call him Mariposa. Oh, that's Mariposa. Come. And he was like, dance for us, Mariposa. He would dance for us. Remember? He was so, like, we were his friend. Like he would see us, he's like, hey, papi, come on down. Like,
That was in Besos, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we didn't treat him like, oh, he's gay, so get him out of here. We were just like, these are people.
It's interesting that you say that because you were mentioning that about Hispanic men and that there's a sense of when they're yours, when they're exclusive to you, that they're pretty much really loyal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna kill yourself, bro.
Oh, it's so close.
no.
What happens if like somebody touches the zap?
You get shocked.
You
Is it like a taser?
Yeah.
I don't think it's as strong, but it's definitely
Someone that it hurts like hell.
Oh.
Go on. Yo, can you? The camera turned off over there.
Oh man,
She got him.
I didn't get it.
So
I did it, Phil.
you see how the screen is like? I don't know if that's recording.
Oh man, I gotta squeeze faster.
All right, so
Is this on?
Yeah.
yeah, everything's those are still on. That camera decided to be special. We look like we're like ghosts, like we're dying.
This is a better view for me though. I look skinny.
All she cares about is the anger. No, I was saying that Puerto Rican men, from some part, they have like this, like when they're in, they're like loyal. Like they'll treat you like the queen. Like, you know, it's when they get like, this is my queen. You must be locked away in a box. I can't show the world my queen. You must be, you know. Yeah,
I haven't
that's
had that,
when.
thank God.
So that's good. So that says generally that us spics are calming our stuff down. But so you prefer specifically Puerto Rican?
No, I don't. I'll date whoever. I don't have like a
You'll do a Mexican.
fetish or like I don't have a preference. Well,
She
did you
said
say
that.
what? Would I do a Mexican? Is that what you said?
Would you be with a Mexican?
I have been with a Mexican man
Okay.
in the Air Force from Los Angeles.
Okay.
He's Special Forces.
Wow.
Special forces. See the fact.
That's what shirt he would wear. She was like, yes, Special Forces is here.
It was nice.
Oh, let me stop. I could go far with that.
Calm yourself down.
I don't have any like. I'll date whoever I like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
mean,
like, but I do.
Stay away from black guys.
I was married to a black.
No, I'm
guy.
just joking.
Oh my god.
you see, I started up, and it gets his engine revved, and then he just
see.
runs with it. You see that, right? So you were married to you said it. I'm just repeating what you said. You were married to a black guy.
I was.
Okay. And so you're not married anymore.
No.
Okay. All right. I mean, I am going through a divorce, so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a pain.
Yeah.
But one of the things every time I hear someone say that they served or they're active, especially when they're a woman, I feel like I have to go to the bathroom and reevaluate my cojones, like my manhood.
I have an
Little
issue
juke, you know?
with, like, online dating. I have noticed that some men are intimidated by my job.
Well, yeah, your job is a little intimidating.
I mean, it's really not. I work in an office. But, like, I have noticed that, like, there are a lot of men that they get weird after I tell them my job.
I don't know.
And it's
Sounds
like,
cool to me.
Well, I think it's because they think that you can definitely Google all the dirt
yeah,
on them.
that is true. They say stuff like that as well.
Oh, Jose, my camera's off.
Yeah.
It's off.
It's crooked.
Oh, you
It's
gotta
crooked?
move it more.
It's mad crooked.
Did it
That
move?
means it probably got kicked by accident by one of us. Doesn't really.
You can just pick up the whole thing.
I love that
Oh, that's good. That'll work.
guests are getting to work with us here on the episode of The Basement.
We're learning, like,
They're
the
going
magic
in.
that goes in
You can
behind the
take
scenes.
Oh, they're trying to take over.
They know that it's not magic. It's just
That's a
Silent
10.
error.
They're,
A lot of broken stuff.
yeah.
they're looking at the cameras like, oh,
The, cheap,
did Fisher Price make
the cheapest camera?
Because it looks like Fisher Price made that. Was that one of those Amazon things that they bribe you with that it's good and it's like $30 and you thought you had something good but it was made from China?
I mean, I'm
The
still
answer is yes,
fixated
actually.
on
The answer is
the
yes.
notepad.
Oh,
That's still like.
That was there for the
I
Wi-Fi
just want you to
password for
pick it
everybody.
up. and
So
put it-
the
Wait,
Wi-Fi
what'd you
pass.
say?
It was originally for the Wi-Fi password.
It is the Wi-Fi
Oh.
password, and it was pinned in the tripod for people to grab it if they want to connect. This is not what people want to talk about. This
Wait,
pad that's
how,
on the.
Okay.
How long has this pad been on the floor like this?
It's been that
No,
was
it
today.
it was just
Oh,
up there.
okay.
It just fell down. It
I
was
thought it was
hanging.
like-
It was
I mean,
wedged
it looks
there.
like it's been on the floor for months.
It looks like
Yeah,
it's
it
been
It
on
looks
the-
like it's been there
Yeah.
for a long time.
I was like, let's just pick up the pad and put it on the table. But it's okay. It's only been a day.
So somebody's OCD is kicking in. Donna, let's talk about that. Marilyn, so do you find that in your field and specifically with the HIV stuff, do you find like your services are less needed now that they have preventative measures or is it something that's still needed?
People still don't wrap up what they want to use. People are not wrap it up. They're not.
Can I say something too? Because I feel
Sure.
like not Christianity, the church is always they almost were like abstinence and that's it,
Exactly.
which only works if you're a devoted Christian.
And you have no hormones.
Yeah, if you're not devoted, you're not gonna hold you.
I mean,
there's
I think
no
we
conviction on it. You know what I'm saying?
we can all fall even if we're devoted
Yeah.
at any point.
Talk about it.
I just think that so people just don't.
Just keep it just in case. Hold on to
So,
it.
is
Yeah.
there like, do you get a certain demographic or it's
So
everything?
right now, just because I work in Sunset, Brooklyn,
Yeah.
I have a lot of undocumented, a lot of from Mexico.
So they're bringing the diseases over here. You saying?
No,
Chill.
no. What I'm saying is our people.
We're never gonna get people to follow. I wouldn't be afraid to leave my house.
No,
And
okay.
then his suggestion was make a sign, a big sign, the Basement Studios. Yeah, I want to be a target after the stuff you say. Go ahead.
Listen, honestly, most of my patients are Puerto Ricans.
They don't know how to control themselves.
There's in Sunset. If you ever go to Sunset, there's like 5th Avenue, 49th Street, and 48th Street. It's like they all sleep with each other, and everyone there has like HIV or AIDS.
Jesus.
That's good to
And
know.
that's why we're there. Sunset Park has one of the highest rates in Brooklyn.
Really?
What?
Yes. So
Good to know.
if you're gonna
We have
use
no
it,
self-control.
Don't date
So-
somebody from Sunset Park.
Stay away from Sunset. Jeez, thank God.
How many people do you see a day?
On a good day, I see like 5.
Oh, wow. And they're
New
new.
people?
New people.
Oh no,
Oh,
like
right.
new people. Oh, probably 3
A day?
a day.
New people?
Yeah,
That's
That's
still
scary.
It's still
that
going.
that
That's
is
still
a
a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, so
We
that's
haven't
why
heard about it in so long.
I still have a job.
You still.
Keep it up, guys.
No.
Keep me in business.
Don't wrap it up. Don't wrap it up. Don't wrap it
Marilyn
up.
needs job security. Are you like, so you're educating them on it, but are you also like emotionally supporting them?
Yeah, so one of the main things is that people do not want to take their medications. So they just live this crazy life and you know you have it and you're just sleeping around. So
That's
one of the
scary.
biggest things is really, I mean, medication is medication, but it's like understanding that you can transmit it and that, you know, you can affect other people and that, you know.
I know somebody that's not taking it right now.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't. Now he's
Yeah.
taking, but that like devastated him.
There's
Not
what?
taking it or
Yeah.
taking it?
He stopped taking it for a really long time.
Taking his meds
Yeah, he
for
stopped.
AIDS?
The thing is, the
Yeah.
sicknesses they get are
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he's like devastated. He's a different person. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really takes a toll on the person. So,
I've asked you this before. Like,
yes.
I don't know how you do your job. Like, kudos to you because
Thank
I
you.
couldn't deal with that every day. Like, it's so sad and hard. And so, like, I asked you, like, how do you go home and, like, not
So I have
obsess?
this theory that I'm like 2 different people. So at work, I'm like Marilyn, the social worker,
Ooh,
and
this
then
is
at
the
home,
topical
I'm
part.
like Marilyn,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
who I am.
Yeah, yeah.
I never take anything from work home. Like
Okay.
I've understood that I'm not a savior. I'm just an option for your behavior. So if you have, you know, if you're just whatever, that's you want to sleep around, no problem. I'm just someone to guide you along the way.
Yeah.
But I can't ever take it. Like, be like, oh my gosh, it's up to me whether you take a medication or whether you live or not. It's not.
You ever bump into somebody in public?
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then it's like the worst because my husband, if you know him, he like no one can say hi to me, and he'd be like, "Who's that? Why they saying hi to you? But why?"
Oh,
You know, and I can't like physically.
Oh, you're not allowed to say? It's
You
like
know- you know
AA
how-
or something?
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's like
You can't say that's my patient.
no.
Oh,
So,
you're not allowed.
He
So-
should know.
so that machismo Spanish guy comes
it's
out.
like, why is he looking at you? Why they smiling?
Wait, what is
why they
Jo-
turning around?
Wait, but
What
he's
is
half something
Joel?
else, though, right?
What?
What is he?
Joel?
He's Puerto Rican Ecuadorian.
Ecuadorian. There you go. I knew there was something else in the mix. Oh, there's something else was in there.
Yeah.
He should know, though, if you can't say it, it's probably a patient.
Did you tell him? Explain. You know, there's HIPAA regulations.
I do, but I think like at the moment he's just.
You could tell she's in the field because she has all these sayings that are fitting, and it's like you feel like, oh, I just learned something new.
No.
And I feel the same way when you're speaking. And again, night and day people, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And both of
Literally,
these guys,
night and day.
if you're afraid of
I
going
need
on,
a tap.
if you're afraid of going on podcasts or YouTube or being on camera, both these individuals like, we don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, I was like, I have
Yeah.
nothing to
Meanwhile, they're
say.
asking the questions. I feel like if I'm the guest.
We need cups of coffee.
I kind of feel like I wouldn't be
The
able to
basement
do
coffee cups.
her job.
Oh yeah.
To know that I can get killed at any moment, like the
Oh,
threat.
I'm not gonna get killed.
I mean, but the threat, like I don't want to
Well,
know
not
all the
anymore.
evil in the world. Like I just don't.
Oh.
I can't live with
no,
that.
see, I feel good that, and actually, I feel this more in the private sector than I did in the military and the government. I felt like I wasn't doing anything and I didn't like it. But in the private sector, I actually feel like every day, I made sure like nobody got hurt today. Like I do feel like
Oh.
I do feel that way. So
Yeah.
that is nice. I like it.
Until you fail, and then everybody dies.
Until I haven't had that happen. Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch, buddy.
Are there certain things that you've experienced that you can't talk about?
Yes.
Oh my god.
You can't talk about it. So
No.
what is it?
My only question is.
Yeah,
and I
you're a
know-
lot better than that.
My only
got a
question.
drum.
My only.
You're doing a lot.
That's horrible that you say that after the comment with the ring. All I want to know: did Hillary do it?
I'm gonna say I don't know, but I'm gonna say no.
Did what?
I don't know, but I'm just gonna say no.
Benghazi?
That's crazy. So when did you stop serving?
In 2004.
Damn, that's all 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all 9/11.
Mhm.
Are you surprised that it took so long to actually find them and kill them?
Yeah.
Coming from the field that you're in, is that involved?
Wait a minute. You worked intelligence? So you knew he was. The
This
whole
guy
time. You just
doesn't
didn't wanna kill him?
listen. Can you repeat what you did in the army? In the Air Force? Jesus.
No, what I'm saying, they knew where he was at. They just let him rock for a little bit. Right?
I didn't know where he was
Oh,
at.
okay.
I was an airman
Well, you can't say,
in the
right?
Air Force. So I was like at the very bottom of the totem pole.
Yo, this is crazy. Wow. That goes to show you. I thought about serving, and I went into the recruiter's office, and they measured me, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to put you on a treadmill."
Aww.
I was like, "I'm too lazy for that. Just give me a gun, I'll just shoot. Whatever. If I get shot, I get shot." That was I was a young kid, and he also thought about going into it as well, but
This is before 9/11.
Yeah.
So the
And
same
they wouldn't
kind of
accept me
thing.
because of my asthma.
Oh yeah.
And then literally like months before 9/11.
They almost didn't take me because I have a tattoo and it's large, and you can't have a tattoo that covers 1/4 of your body, so they had to measure it.
Wow, that's interesting.
It's not even that big, but they were almost like, we don't know if you're gonna be able to go in, and then they measured it. And they,
How is the tattoo gonna stop me from serving? I mean, are they gonna
you
be
can't
distracted?
be like all tatted up and
I guess over excessive.
Also, when you see a movie where they got a bunch of tattoos, you know that's not true.
Fake.
That's not.
You ruined it for me. Now I can't watch the movie.
You did.
Every time I say, "That's fake,"
That's
no way in the
fake.
world that
They're
would
not
happen.
allowed 1/4 of the body. Nope. He's out of here.
Why
Wow.
do you guys want to go to the army? Or
Well,
serve?
I did
Same
once
reason
upon
you.
a time.
why? Oh,
Because
just like
yeah,
better
just like
life.
yeah, there's nothing to
Yeah.
do. I
Oh,
have
okay.
nobody.
Yeah,
to
I
take
was
care of
like,
me.
I'm a spick. There's no hope for me.
Yeah.
Let me take this
I'm gonna live here
pass.
forever. I might as well leave the army. And then I had flat feet. That was another thing they didn't want.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
they
was
don't like
flat foot too.
Yeah.
They weren't gonna let me
It
go.
was like weird.
Listen,
I was like,
Daffy Duck, get out of here. They told
I was
me.
like, I could
Oh.
try.
They made like when I was doing the you have to go through all these physical tests to prove you're like, I don't know,
Good enough.
a human. And, like I
Oh,
had to
okay.
like do this duck walk. I remember across. Like
You have to make sure you're human to make you do the duck walk.
I don't know.
And then they're like, on the notes it says she's definitely a duck. in a human costume. She's trying to pass off as a human.
She did better walking as a duck than a human. We're just gonna
Part
label
duck.
her.
Howard the Duck. Do you guys know that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One of the best movies. Everybody hates it.
I didn't
It's so
know if
good.
you were too young.
No, I'm not. Trust me. I'm older than I look.
But I had to do a lot of weird stuff before I got in, so
Oh my gosh.
it was interesting.
But definitely worth it
Yeah, it was definitely the best thing I ever did
for you.
for me because I
That's dope.
got to do everything I wanted to do, travel, see the world. My life was going to crap before I joined, so it was the best thing I did because travel, got my degree, set me up with a career, and I met my best friends who are like my family to this day. Like it was almost my college experience, especially because we were living overseas in dorms in Germany, so it was like my college. And like so people have their college friends. I have my Air Force friends that are like to this day my best friends and my family, you know? So it was the best thing I ever did. I wouldn't recommend someone joining right now, but I would recommend people, like if somebody asked me, should I join the military? I would say yes, and maybe not with this administration, but I would recommend people join.
Okay.
I still have friends with people I went to GED class with.
I got my GED
Oh, yeah.
when I was 16.
Me too. 16. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. Every time I tell somebody I did when I was 16, they're like, no way. I'm like, I
Yes.
just went for it and I got it.
I was having a lot of issues, and I said, you know, forget this. I'm going to get my GED. And then I went to Kingsborough Community College for like, I don't know, a year and a half. And that's why when I joined the Air Force, I had some college, because I was older when I joined the Air Force. I was 21. So I had some college, a little bit of college behind me. So I had a little stripe when I joined. Most people have nothing. I had one. I was like an airman. I forgot basic something.
Nice.
Fancy.
Yeah,
okay.
So I know I'm not gonna get a high five here, right? You went to school and you finished it.
You did,
So I'm still in school.
yeah.
Damn,
But she's
so
getting
hard.
her master's.
I'm getting my master's
Getting
in
her
social
master's.
work.
Wow, you're going hard.
But
with
you
it.
try-
I'm going hard because, you know,
And what's the goal? With
They
the,
need
with
us
the
out here
degree?
in the streets.
they do.
In
And
Sunset
they
Park?
need
True.
representation, you know?
So
Yes.
let's tap on that. So you're saying that they need these services more, especially now with all this gun violence, mental,
Yeah.
mental health in general in the United States.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that. So without, it's a dumb question, but dumb question is the question not asked. Obviously, we should be funding more in those services and encouraging people to step into that field and paying y'all more.
Yeah, because we don't make no money. But
Yes,
I
more.
mean, I'm doing it because I want to work with inmates. That's my goal. I want to eventually work in prisons and do group therapy or therapy in general.
Like
Really?
max security.
I would love to do max security.
Wow. Would you do
but-
juveniles?
See that I can't take.
Why?
No,
I was gonna say I got a connection in there. You wanna
Yeah,
go?
we have
no,
a
I
connection.
I probably can. I just
Maybe start there. Try it out.
maybe I can start. But the thing is, my dad was a preacher man in Rikers, so I used to go with him when I was 16. So I've been doing it for since I was from 16 to like 20.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would preach and I would sing, and these old men were from Rikers. Like they weren't juveniles, they were men.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt connected, and and the passion grew from there. So I don't know if I would do juveniles. Maybe I would, but right now that's not what I'm looking at.
Do you need to do some externship in order to get what you need to get with your degree?
Yeah, so I did internship with the Legal Aid Society. That's also took me to Rikers. So I have a lot of experience there. I've never done juvie though.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I feel like I won't be able to connect with them. I feel like when you're an adult, you kind of know what you did, or you trying to understand what you did. Where in juvie, you're just trying to build their character. You're just trying to build them as people. Where
They're just starting their career.
Yeah, pretty much. God forbid. Like as an adult, like you've been here, you've done this. Like let's just.
You come up to terms with where you are.
Yeah.
So.
Yo, first of all, so she's to me badass over here with her service thing, right?
Yeah.
And then this one comes out of nowhere. I want to go. I was in 16. My dad would take me to doctors. That was since the inmates.
Yeah.
Like, and she looks so gentle.
It's funny. When I was 16, I was
not
supposed to be playing
gentle.
PlayStation all night. That's what I did. That's all I did.
That was being too.
This is what happens when you're raised with a Hadabla Pentecostal parents. But I'm grateful for the like.
So is your like? Are you all about like prison reform? Is that what you're underlying?
Man, you should.
I mean,
Don't get us started.
yeah, pretty much. I just really feel that rehabilitation is the way to go. Like this imprisonment and just the numbers that we're seeing, it's ridiculous. The money we invest in this industry, because it's an industry at this point.
Yeah.
It's quite ridiculous. And we're not seeing a change. Like our rape crime is not going down. But there's a lot of factors: race, poverty.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm continuing my studies, because I want to be able to hopefully one day do therapy, but see policy change in some way, shape, or form.
I know me and Marilyn watch the same shows. That's one of the things we bonded on.
Yes.
And like I'm obsessed with like prison life and culture. And
I live that. I just like.
And she likes that.
All right, so we usually have a segment called "What You Watching," and on this episode we have two lovely guests from the other side of this species. That was the better way to say it, right?
No.
GE, no.
That's what you said the first time.
No, I was like other species.
He doesn't used to learn
The same side,
He's still
the
figuring
different,
right.
the opposite side of the species. What shows are you guys watching?
Well, like I was
that we like.
So I've been watching Netflix's Inside the World's Toughest Prison.
Yes.
Did you see the one about Norway? I think it was, where it's like it's not tough. They actually treat them well.
Yeah.
And you should watch it. Like that.
No, is that with a guy that he's from Britain? He was incarcerated for like 12 years.
But it's like nice, like a college
haven't
dorm.
seen that.
Yeah, like
So-
they even have like dishes with like knives and forks right in there.
They have their own
cell,
little
quote,
dorm
unquote.
room by themselves, and
Wow.
like the rate of what is it, I can't say the word.
Recidivism.
Is very low because they're treated,
Humans.
correctly, and they're actually like focused on rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So that's what needs to happen here. But
Yeah.
so I watched that.
It's funny because I read a study that they were talking about recidivism,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they were saying that countries where the race is just like a single race,
Yeah.
like white or black,
Mhm.
Yeah.
their recidivism is lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's regardless of the race.
Uh-huh.
But multicultural countries
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a higher rate of recidivism, which is weird. I guess there's always like confrontation, I guess.
Of course. Yeah.
Or there's like racist people locking people
All
up.
over.
Or, yeah.
It's so funny because
Yeah,
all
there's
the
mad white people in
shows.
jail. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. All the shows I watch is juvie jail.
Oh, you do? See, I don't watch that.
I do. I watch all the juvie jail shows.
Have you watched Jailbirds?
What the?
It's,
It was horrible, but I couldn't stop watching it. It's horrible, but I couldn't
haven't
stop.
seen it.
I started watching The Happiest Prison. You saw that one?
No.
No.
It's a prison, I think in Thailand or something, where instead of them basically treating them bad, they got an ex-prisoner to run the prison, and he treats it like a camp almost. When people like dancing, they make YouTube videos of them dancing. You ever saw the video? It's
That's
a bunch of
interesting.
prisoners dancing to the Michael Jackson song Thriller.
No.
Yeah.
I have to look this
And
up.
then instead of allowing visits, they'll
Yeah.
actually allow sleepovers with families. Like they come to the prison and they make like a camp in the middle of the prison.
What country
Okay.
is this?
It's like in
Thailand?
Thailand or something like that. And the prisoners are like they're behaving.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point where the guy that runs the prison, the warden,
Yeah.
he put out a table in the middle of the field and he was like, all right, everybody put your weapons.
Yeah.
And all the prisoners came out, they put a bunch of weapons. Like they didn't have to go get them.
Yeah.
Prisoners
Yeah.
just put it there.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not
Yeah.
doing this no more. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise you're gonna lose whatever.
Yeah.
And it changed the whole dynamic of the prison.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand like there has to be punishment for crimes, but
Right.
we also have to remember that like 90% of these people are being released back into society, and it's like, how are we treating them? They can come out into society for the better, or they can come out worse than when they came in. And the way we're doing it now is they're coming out worse.
I just also think that context is never looked at. So we are all capable of committing a crime.
Yeah. It's not
What
black
is
and
your
white.
context, right? Like, why do you do it? Is this norm to you? Like, we don't look at all these different factors that, you know, make people commit crimes or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then we just put them in a cell and be like, yep, that's going to heal you. That's going to make you better. You know, and for the most part, they come out worse.
Yeah.
Mental health becomes very real in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And then they bring that prison culture to the streets.
to the streets.
Yeah.
And then the kids are raised
Yeah.
in that prison culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me think about what else I'm watching that's not so dark.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Okay, I
watching-
watched Power.
Me too. Oh my gosh, I love that show.
Lost.
I don't know.
I high five. You don't know
Tap it
Power?
out.
You
Tap
don't
out.
watch Power?
Yeah,
Tapping out.
I tap out. Yeah, I don't watch Power.
I love Power. So good this season.
It's the last season.
Yes, I know. I watch Real Housewives.
Yep. This is where
I
we're
watch
like,
Mistress. It's like Mistress at different points in life, like
Oh, you
in
told me about
different
that.
perspectives. And to me, it's so interesting. I love how human human behavior.
But is that
so interesting.
it's a drama,
with your
right?
professional
It's
family,
not reality
you
or
would think,
something.
yeah.
It's it's a series,
Okay.
and it's like, you know, their mistresses at different points, so you get to see them be slutty. You know?
You told me about that.
I love it.
What else do I watch?
13 Reasons Why. I mean, but I'm just.
I don't watch
depressing.
that. I'm gonna start watching Pose.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I just feel like I work. With
I know,
the
you-
gay
yeah.
Like every day, like I don't want to see
Yeah.
gays on TV. Like I see the real thing every day.
Yeah,
You know
see,
what I'm saying?
I'm like obsessed with like the New York in the 80s. So it's like New York City 80s
Yeah.
culture.
What's the name of the show?
Pose, but it's about
Pose.
like drag queens, and it talks about the AIDS epidemic in the 80s, and I'm just very interested in that. I'm very interested in like New York City in the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Do you listen to crime shows?
crime.
Are you interested in crime documentaries and stuff like that, or podcasts?
It sounds like you would, because he could put you onto some really good.
I started to, but the thing is, again, this is like, I don't know how you do this every day for work. I internalize all these horrible stories, and I can't get them out of my head, and I think about it and I feel bad, and it's like I don't know how to like. But yes, I have started listening to like, crime stuff.
There's one, I forget the name of it. Jeez.
What's it
I forget
about?
right now. It's about the murder of a girl. Her name is Heyman Lee. And
Oh
then
yeah, what Anon?
Anon,
Serial?
Yeah, Serial. Have you listened to that one?
Yes.
Well, I haven't. I don't know what's going on now. It's been a long time since they put that podcast.
Yeah. He's still in,
He's still in there?
which is crazy because
Yeah.
I don't think he did it.
That's funny. Every time I talk to people, they always have difference of opinion.
I don't think he did it. I don't know if he did it, but I know that he didn't get a fair trial, so
Who
he
you talking
shouldn't
about?
be
Yeah.
Anon.
Anon
Give a little bio.
From Serial. You know the podcast Serial?
yes.
They've never heard of this
I do know
podcast.
Serial.
It
I've
came
never
out.
heard
It came
of
out
this.
when we were working in Royale.
Do you listen to podcasts?
That's how
I
long
don't.
ago it was.
Oh, you
That
should.
is
You
a
would
lot.
like them.
You would love. You take the
like
train.
the crime stuff?
I do.
You would
I do take
love
the
it.
train.
You take public transportation.
We'll hook her up
You
at
would
the
love
end.
podcasts.
All right,
We'll
so I
get
won't
it
tell you
on
what
your
happens,
phone.
but it's about a case in the 90s. This teenage boy, he's Muslim, and he was dating an Asian girl, and she wound up being killed, and he got put in jail for it, but there really is no evidence that he did this, and he definitely didn't get a fair trial, so they did a whole podcast on the story, and he's still in prison.
And the craziest thing is that there's another person that knew where the body was,
Yeah,
and he didn't get in trouble at all.
it's really weird.
He's
And-
the only one that knew where the body was.
And the guy that, like, his friend, that sketchy guy that kind of said he did it, but, like, basically the police coerced that kid into saying that because otherwise that kid was going to get arrested for some other stuff. So he was just trying to get out of,
The whole thing is crazy. crazy.
It's not. Yeah, I don't think he should be in prison at all. Nobody does.
Oh, I forgot to say in this episode, this section of what you watching. Spoiler alert.
We didn't say anything.
You said enough. You gave us a whole bio on this
Is the
thing.
window open? Because they're coming in like crazy right now. Yeah.
The window is open. These are mosquitoes, right? These are not.
No,
the
Are they
flies.
I
mosquitoes?
don't think they're actually mosquitoes. I think
I
they're
would have
just
bought my
little
spray.
Like fruit flies? Oh, that's the
there's
alarm.
flies.
Now you have to
It's
answer
not
the
people.
phone. Remember, you said if your phone rings, you have to answer it.
It was an alarm.
Oh.
It was a large for us 45-minute alarm of recording, which we've been doing. We took a little few breaks so we could other shows that are not jail related and depressing. Anything?
We only like depressing stuff.
Oh my gosh, I'm so depressing.
I mean, I Real Housewives.
Oh yeah, that's pretty uplifting.
I watch I watch Friends over and over like a psychopath. I know every word to Friends.
Jesus.
Whoa.
It makes me happy.
Gilmore Girls?
It makes me I don't watch that, but Friends makes me laugh after I've watched the depressing.
Do you like comedies?
I do.
Have you watched the Dave Chappelle special?
The recent?
No, the new one. No, I haven't
No,
seen
yeah.
the new one.
Have you seen the Bill Burr just put a new one out too?
No, I haven't seen
No.
it yet.
Yeah, he
I gotta be in the mood to watch the comedy.
Yeah.
It's a little
You would die laughing and then feel bad that you laughed.
For Dave
Actually, you know what? Not that
Chappelle
bad, really.
or Bill.
I think both.
Both of
They
them.
both, yeah.
They both went in. They did like a tag team. With it's almost like they spoke to each other beforehand.
Yeah, I was listening to him talk, and he was saying, because he does a lot of transgender jokes, and then everybody's like, oh, whatever, right? But then there's an interview with him, and he's like, he's joking about gay people, and a woman gets mad at him, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a person that was trans in the audience that was laughing. He's like, and while I'm telling the jokes, in my head I'm thinking, I'm like, she's gonna feel bad when I start telling these trans jokes. But then he starts telling the trans jokes, and she starts laughing even more. And then after everything was over, while he was walking out, he saw her sitting at the bar. So she's like, "Hey, come here." So he went over. He had a drink with her, and she was saying, I forgot what they were talking about exactly, but one of the things she said was, they don't talk about us like we don't exist.
Oh,
And he's like, "Well, I
wow.
know you guys exist, so I talk about you guys."
interesting.
Different approach.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like,
nice
I
to be
exist.
noticed.
Make fun of me too.
Yeah. Hey.
That's basically what she's saying. He,
Yeah,
she,
yeah.
whatever
I
you
will
wanna
never
call it.
sit in the front row at a comedy show
No.
for that reason.
I
Like,
saw-
I,
I saw a
do
comedy-
not want to be picked on.
I saw a comedy clip of a guy. I think it was like a cripple or something. And he told the comic, he's like, "Don't take it easy on me. Let me have it too."
Oh, really?
He was like, "All right."
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then he said something like,
That's so awesome.
he said, "It looks like your voodoo doll got crumpled up or something like that." Something like that. So funny.
That's horrible.
But the fact that he asked for it, the fact that he's like, look, this
Yeah.
is what it is. I feel like that's where we're lacking in a lot of this generation is lacking. Like, it's okay to laugh about this.
Like
It's
self-deprecation.
okay. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. Like, we can. This is why I think Trump is so successful, because this dumbass thing he does either makes people laugh and they love it, and I'm one of them because I think he's an idiot. He's an idiot. But he's, to me, I was saying this in a previous episode. I was saying, I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's a genius. I think he acts this way on purpose to get the airtime, to get you either pissed off or with him.
Are you still talking about him?
Exactly. If you're talking about him, it's worth something, because that's a lot of money. The media loves so I feel like the same way with people when they're criticizing these comedians and what people are putting out there. It's like, yo, let the First Amendment rock. Let us have our freedom
And
of
then
speech.
I don't know about girls, but guys, when there's a new guy in the group, we crack jokes on him like crazy. Whoever the new guy is,
Girls
we just
don't do
make
that.
fun of him like crazy.
I think
You're
they
it.
just girl each other.
Yeah, we don't
That's
do that.
Why is that? Why is it? Okay, so why is that girls get together and say,
No, I don't do that. Do you do that?
No, I mean, but I'm not like myself.
You don't think?
You have to warm me. You have to prove to me that you're worthy.
I
of,
feel like we hit
Way
it off right away.
You know, I'm not just like, oh, hey, you're a girl. Let's be friends. No.
they have to be worthy of your friendship.
Not worthy, but like, I did say worthy.
Oh, that's so
I
different.
feel like we hit it off right away.
So different.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah.
day we had three guys. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 guys coming here that we only knew one, but we were brothers. We were just like laughing, joking at each other. It was so funny.
It was. I mean, the guy interaction is like, yeah, you're usually making fun of the first guy, the new guy in the group.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is, somebody's getting it. Everyone's trying to be funny, like da 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 da. I'm cool. Or it's like, I don't laugh. I'm a serious dude. Look at me.
Yeah, nobody wants to hang out with that guy.
No one wants to hang out with that guy, but eventually, even that guy, like that's how I felt about Al. Shout out to Crime Faces. That's how I felt about Al when I first met him. He's not even listening to this, but I felt like he was like that. But then after like after the second time he came through to record, I was like, this guy's cool. Actually, he's funny. Yeah. And listening to his stuff, but so there's like that. But with girls, I always feel like there's like this
Attention.
See, I have felt that, so I don't do that to other women.
Okay.
And I'm just
Yeah, but you being open
I'm not.
pisses them off.
I'm not like. What do you mean open?
Like being super friendly.
No, I'm not.
They're like,
can't
"What
stand that
is
either.
this?"
No,
You see what I'm saying?
That is ridiculous.
I'm not
that's
like
good.
that either. With anyone, any person, man or woman, when I first meet you, I'm kind of like, I just kind of
Observe.
sit back and just see how you are.
analyze.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit shy or something.
Maybe that's the
and
problem.
guarded.
Girls are all doing that at the same time, and they're like, "I gotta make sure."
No, there are girls that are like just haters.
They are.
I think.
But no. But what he's saying, say that again.
I think because you guys are like both like waiting for the other person to respond to see what they're like.
That might be because
Everybody's
I think
doing it
Well,
to each
isn't
other.
that so? Maybe that's okay. That
because
analogy right
women
there.
are used to receiving.
Yeah.
So we might both be waiting for the other one to
Because women
Acknowledge.
aren't
approach. Like I'm like as women, I feel like we're used to
being
we're-
approached.
being approached
especially
more-
by men in society in
Yeah.
general. Women are So
we're the
women
receivers.
Women back in the day, they would walk in the streets together and like, right?
Like the Handmaid's Tale.
Like the shut up.
You watch it?
Oh my God.
I love that
I watched that too.
Yeah, girl.
That's depressing.
That is depressing.
We got something together.
But it's still depressing.
It is, but it's good depressing.
We should do a Handmaid's Tale recap
Party.
when it
Let's
comes
do it.
back on.
Let's do
When it
it.
comes
Yo,
back.
we could do a
Yes.
recap.
That would
on
be
it.
good.
So
Yes,
the way I
I'm
got
down.
caught up into it is because this sci-fi nerd thought it was a sci-fi show. It ended up to be a girly show, in my opinion.
Well, I kind of knew it was a
It's
girly
a
show because somebody was
little-
telling me about it. But
I
they were
wouldn't
telling me
call it
the
girly.
sci-fi, like they can have babies. I was like, I'm interested now. Okay, I want to learn about
okay.
that.
Then
It's
they
kinda
can't make
sci-fi.
bananas. Bananas can't have babies either. So it was like sci-fi in that sense. And then so Noelle's like, watch it, bitch. And I'm like, all right.
It's
Binge
good.
watched it
It's
like
very
the
good.
crap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you up to date?
And it's I'm up to date. And what's funny was Justin was talking about that sermon about binge watching and being addicted to these things.
Guilty.
And the same service I go down like, yo, what up, Justin? What up? Yo, you know what show you gotta watch? The Handmaid's Tale. I binge watched the crap out of it. He starts laughing. I was like, I just literally gave a service about this. You're telling me to binge watch something. If I could binge watch, I feel like. If I don't have my son, it's a Saturday. I don't have any plans because I don't have life. I feel like if I could put in some time to binge watch, put it in because I don't have the time during the week to do anything else.
Right.
So
Well, to find a show that I would want to binge watch is rare.
word.
So you on Netflix, have you seen that? Have you watched that?
Oh yeah, I watched that.
I binge watched that. It's about a stalker guy, right?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I think I've
So
heard of this
good.
My
too.
wife watched it.
I had to watch the whole thing, and that's rare. But it's not too long either. It was like
No,
10
no.
episodes.
That's
Very
crazy.
good show, and it's coming on soon again, season 2. So you got to watch it before it comes back on.
We'll definitely, word. We're definitely gonna recap on the Handmaid's Tale
Yes,
because oh
I'm
my
down.
gosh, she wasn't on the plane.
I know. I was so mad.
That was so sad.
I'm getting. Her faces are just too much. The show has become her face, her facial expressions. It's like, all right, we get it. You're
I think
mad.
she's filming another show now too, right?
Is she?
Who?
The lady from the Handmaid's Tale. I
Elizabeth
forget her-
Moss,
Yeah, okay.
who's a Scientologist, which is really weird because that's a
In
cult.
real life?
Yeah, that's a cult.
That explains why
That's not what they say.
She's got the
Wait, a
praise be.
Scientologist?
Praise
Oh, like the
be.
religion.
Yeah, like
To work.
like scientist. Like Tom Cruise, like Leah. Do you guys watch Leah
Yes.
Remini's
Do you watch that
Scientology?
documentary?
That is a good show.
That was a good
I
What's it
watched
called?
that.
She was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I don't know
talking
what it's
about
called,
it,
but
too.
I call it Leah Remini's Scientology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She basically talks about
Internet.
Scientology and people like left.
She's
it
an
and stuff.
ex-Scientologist, and it's a
Yes.
cult.
It is crazy.
She's doing amazing work.
Nice. Well, I mean,
But Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist, and when they were at an award show together, and Aaliyah was getting an award for the show, Elizabeth Moss had to leave
Why?
because she can't be in the same room as her if she's talking crap about Scientology.
Because then they gotta throw hands. So she's like, I just gotta leave. I don't want to throw
I'm gonna
crazy.
take out my little white thing right here. We're gonna throw down. That's
crazy.
Oh
that's
my god.
that is disturbingly
Because it's like she's in the show about basically like,
Was she?
Fun.
Yeah.
you know,
I feel like you telling us that, like her facial expressions make sense now. I don't know why.
You think she's trying to give us a message?
Have you guys ever tried Scientology? You ever went to the place?
No, but guess what? When I started watching Leah Remini's Scientology show, I started getting emails from Scientologists.
Okay.
Like to join.
Now I want to talk about that right there.
And calls.
You should analyze the.
Yes.
And I called the
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Analyze what?
You should do an investigation report or something. Call your friends with the technologies and get.
Make a
And do
podcast about it.
what?
I'll tell you why.
What am I doing? What's the podcast?
So
I
how
can
did they
call the
get?
Scientologist?
How did they get your email? I think they're working with the NSA,
I don't
NRA,
know.
whatever.
I
agency.
called them up. They kept calling me too. I called them up. They said I took a quiz online. I said no, I did not. And I told them I watched Leah Remini's Scientology show, and you guys are a cult, and you better remove me immediately.
And what they said.
They were like, all right, we will, blah, blah, blah. And they did it again. Every time I talked to them, I said, I watch Leah Remini's Scientology show.
I got Leah Remini right here.
So I know all about you guys, and I'm not interested.
Playlist is full.
I went a long time ago. I went to the building in Manhattan to do the test.
The metal
I watched
things?
videos.
You did the auditing?
I did everything.
Because you wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted to see because they said it's the Church of Scientology. I was like, oh, I like church
And I like.
and I like science.
How
This
long
is
did it
my
take to be
religion.
audited?
I don't remember, but I was there for like a while. I was there for like 4 hours.
I
don't
did
have
it
that
in.
kind of time.
I did it in college. I gave them my
Social.
email,
Why?
and it was a Yahoo because that was what was available at the time. All right, nobody had Gmail. Okay, so I gave them my Yahoo.
Was it like, what was the name?
I don't even know. It was a building dynamite with a little
Like
explosion.
PR, like...
I don't know. They had the metal things, and I was like, bloop. And they still call me to this day. So Noelle knows me on my customer service. As a customer, I am the worst person an operator would ever have to pick. So when they call me, I'm like, I'll be on the phone with them for hours. Then to eventually get them to the point
Oh,
where
that's
they're like,
funny.
where they're like,
Ooh,
Because
that's a good tactic.
sometimes they're not allowed to hang up on you.
Oh, I like
You
that.
have to hang up first.
I can work with
So
that.
they'll say goodbye, but they'll stay on the line. They have to wait.
Yeah.
So you can mess with them for hours and hours, then prevents them from calling other people.
That's interesting.
So you just keep them on the phone for hours, just messing with them.
did science make itself in your church? Who made the science?
Tell me about Lord Zenu.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what they believe.
It's too much.
You reach a level. I know all about Scientology because I watched Leah Remini's show, so I can tell you about it. You reach like level 8 or something, or 14.
Something like that.
At least they're organizing their levels. I mean,
Jeez, we don't even have levels.
we don't even have levels.
We didn't have
gotta
deacons
step
or
it
nothing.
up.
What the hell's going on in our
What
church?
is going on in our church?
Grace.
Who's
Yeah.
the trustee? What's going on here?
Where's the treasurer? Yeah, I mean,
It's
look,
crazy.
when it comes to, we were talking about what you're watching. We left off with The Handmaid's Tale and got into this whole other thing. But anything that there's a lot of shows that recently came out. I don't know if you guys have seen that. A lot of like different shows that are coming out. Generally, it sounds like your thing is crime.
It is. Or depression.
Anything that makes me feel depressed, I'd watch it.
Yes.
Their depression makes me feel better about myself.
But she
Can
doesn't.
better
She doesn't
analyze people.
internalize
Hey.
it. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
The
That's
thing is,
true.
I also love people watching. So I feel like by watching these shows, I'm able to like look at someone like, you're depressed. But if I don't watch it,
Do you ever
know?
analyze them while they're being depressed? Like, I know what your problem is.
people?
Yeah,
Like in real
just like-
life.
even in the real life of the show or anything.
Yeah, but I love doing it in real life. So Joel, like I just love.
Wait a minute. Have you
Diagnosing
guys
people.
analyzed me?
Hell
You
yeah.
have.
Well-
What does he have? What does he have?
Yeah, I'm dying, right? I know I'm dying. We were talking about Jose's dying.
Oh,
Psychopathic?
mental illness.
Mental depression and loneliness, right?
My conclusions haven't been submitted yet.
She's like, she goes,
I need more time.
she goes, if you want a consultation, I'll send you my
exactly.
information.
That means that
Yeah.
she's worried about you. That's what that means.
Oh, I know she's worried because I get emails from her husband. It's like, we're gonna hang out, Jose, and it's not. I'm
Is that
not.
inviting you over?
No.
You have friends.
I confirm. No, I confirm it because he does a group thing to everyone, but me, I get the special single message.
Because you're Puerto Rican.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, we'll definitely do a follow up to the Handmaid's Tale because the fact that there's 4 people that's watching this thing, very different opinions. Because I feel like it's obviously controversial to have this type of show with this whole thing about states making it legal for abortions up to term,
Yeah.
and then Georgia making it illegal to have abortions to a certain point, or
To a certain
to
point,
a
yeah,
point.
I think past the second they don't allow.
Trimester or something.
Something like
Isn't
that.
the heartbeat bill something like that?
Yeah,
So
yeah, something like that. I
it's an
remember.
interesting show to have coming on, or in the midst of all this stuff. Just real quickly, have you guys voted? What side, what party do you represent? Do you represent a party? And we don't have to go in. You could just be like,
I'm like,
and that's it. There's no
I'm
judgment.
not a Republican.
Okay.
Oh, that's what I'll say.
Here we go.
I'm gonna say you have to check out libertarianism. It's
Okay.
a third party.
I'll look into it.
You're not dealing with these butt heads or these butt heads. It's
Yeah.
a different party that takes perspectives from both sides and analyze it like logically,
Yeah.
and then from that point they make decisions.
I'm
That's
like
what I like.
What are they called?
Libertarianism.
Oh,
See,
okay.
I used to think, but isn't it the Liberal Party?
I'm like.
So a lot of people think that they're right because of some of the stances. Like they're very strong on if you have a right, then that's your right, and nobody should be able to violate that.
Right.
So that for some reason people view that as a Republican view
Mhm.
because we look at like the freedom to speech, bear arms and all that stuff. People view that as a Republican view.
They're more logistical in their dealings and how they view the world. In that example, if you're right, facts don't care about your feelings. There's your side, my side, and there's the truth. There's the facts.
Yeah.
So if you're right and it's proven, it's logical, then yeah, go with that.
Yeah.
That's the way you should go. So you're not Republican.
I'm just exhausted right now from politics.
exhausted.
That's a good way to put it.
I'm not a Trump supporter. That's public knowledge. If you're on my Facebook page, I don't like the man at all. My brother's a Trump supporter, and it's caused like at a certain point, it did cause a huge divide in the family and like really affected my mother, and like there were siblings fighting. I never got into it with him because I refused.
I love the Trump show. I think it's interesting to watch.
Me too. It's my favorite show right now. Talking about shows, it's a show.
I always say like, what happened? What was on the news before him? Like I don't even remember.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't that crazy?
Like what was the news before?
What were we looking at?
I don't know. But I'm just exhausted from politics. Of course I'm gonna vote. Absolutely.
Not Trump.
No.
Absolutely not. That's guaranteed.
That is 1,000% guaranteed.
I can sense that, and I have family members that are also to the left, and I like to poke at them. But at the end of the day,
I'm definitely to the left.
yeah. At the end of the day, I'm like, listen, we're family, we're alive, we're prospering. This is not going to divide us. You're not going to be able to scrape off the blood. One of my cousins, when she found out, I don't know, she must have forgot that I voted for Trump. Mm-hmm. She was like, she goes, we were in a barbecue, first of all, mad people around, and in the middle of this crowd of people, she goes, you like emotionally, like I betrayed, like I stabbed her.
Yeah.
And she's like, you voted for Trump? I'm sorry. We're no longer family. And she walked out. I was like, how did you manage to get rid of our DNA together?
Well, my brother has deleted me from Facebook because he didn't want to see my posts anymore. But we talk, and I refuse to engage with him about it. I'm not going to lose my brother over Trump. Like, Trump's only going to be here for a short time. So, we're at a place where...
4 more years.
We're at a place where
We're just stating the facts.
we're at a place where I love my brother. He's a good brother. He's a good older brother. I can call him for advice on stuff. If I have issues with my technology, he'll come help me. We just don't talk about Trump.
Yeah.
You put a Trump virus in your computer.
Little Trumps pop up.
Well, he made I think it was the white elephant. Like, we do white elephant for Christmas. One of the gifts was like a Trump gift. He's very obnoxious with it. I just don't respond to his text messages when he texts the family.
That's funny. You know how.
But he's chilled out because my mom actually had a heart attack like a year or two ago because for a lot of reasons. But one of them was like she was under a lot of stress because all of her kids were like fighting over politics.
Over an orange man.
Yeah, I won't let him take my mother.
There you go.
Or my brother.
What about you, Marilyn? Where do you stand?
I was raised that Jesus knows it all. So my family never voted.
Oh.
So as an adult that has to vote, I honestly don't put much thought to it.
You go to the ballet and go.
Yeah, I just talked to Joel.
You look for all the Spanish
You
names.
Joel.
Spanish,
Like Alvarez,
Torres. Check my vote.
I don't know. I think the more I am studying and the more I learn about like society, social policy,
Prison reform.
I'm thinking more about it. Where before I just had this mindset, true Pentecostal, like doesn't matter what happens, God.
Jesus
already.
is the way.
Yeah, So I don't know where I stand.
See, I think
really
also,
know.
I think I've said this before in the podcast. Where we're living in an age that nuance is just dying. So like we have an issue. Let's say prison reform, for whatever reason, people want to say, oh, they're incarcerating black people. And that's the end of it. And it's like, well, they did break the law. They just happened to get caught. Why did they get caught? Maybe racist cops, but that's something we need to look at.
Yeah.
Right.
Not saying that it's the whole system. It's like, okay, there might be 1 or 2 cops in this area.
Right.
I mean, look, and we talked about it just a little while ago, saying that people come out of prison, they bring that mentality to the neighborhoods. So that's a big problem, right? So there's a lot of issues left, right, this way, that way, that add to this point that we need to look at more deeply.
I also feel
Then
that
they don't have Jesus too. So that's another.
and we know what that's like in the Pentecostal world. I feel like that to piggyback off of what you were saying about, I feel like in not all Christian denominations or faiths, but I feel that of the faiths need to step into this realm, look into the issues, play a part, play your vote, whatever side it's in, but we need to be more involved, especially from this focal point of the morals that we believe in. Yeah. And I think that message is another thing that's not being said.
You just can't keep playing church.
I think what we need to do is we need to get to church, we get a vision board, and we need to write down what are your issues, and then we get like 5 issues, and then we'll break down each one, and we'll say, all right, who's the best candidate for this one issue? And then whoever got the most candidates, we're like, all right, that's the guy we should all back up, whoever he is.
You just gave it away.
What do you?
That's how we're gonna do it.
That's an awesome idea.
It's a good idea, actually. That's a good way of presenting the idea fairly. But then you also get like, I cannot believe you on prison reform, Marilyn. I'm not talking to you. Unfollow. You could also see that happening. So I see the conversation, like a pre-conversation, like, you guys remember you were all friends before this little session we're about to have, right?
Yeah.
But I think now things are being brought to light, and you're starting to see some of your friends are racist. Some of your friends are, racist.
I gotta ask a question on that.
I like racist people. Isn't it funny?
First of all, I am definitely
very
racist.
interesting.
I'm so racist. I don't know how I don't have all my racism right. Like I thought Guido was Italian?
Yeah.
Guido is. So what's a wetback?
A Guinea is
Mexican.
Italian.
A Mexican.
Or some kind of
And
Hispanic.
then they have sand. What is it?
Sand.
Sand something?
Oh, N-word.
This is.
Oh, yeah, that word.
That's like a Muslim.
Yeah, okay. That's Muslim. Or Arab. Muslim is a religion.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's racist.
It's And I always tell people I'm always racist to my kind first. Like I'll dog my own kind.
For sure.
The worst. The worst. And I love using names like Hibaro, Spig. Like I feel like we've earned those titles.
And my favorite is like dissing them. Like, oh, you waiting for your welfare check? What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting
Food
for? The first of the month? I love that. So I get into that with my family too, besides the Trump thing. But do you think because the little that you've known me,
yeah.
Noel less. I mean, he's definitely on another species. But the little that you've known me, knowing that I voted for Trump, does that make me a racist?
Does it make you a racist? No.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I know you a little bit better. So.
I don't understand it as a minority. And then especially now with the way he handled Puerto Rico, are you going to vote for him again?
I think they should take Iceland and get rid of Puerto Rico.
I said when
more white people there.
Wait, take who?
Iceland was it? Or is it Greenland?
No,
Greenland.
Yeah. Give it to the Puerto Ricans.
I confused
We're
my white
definitely
people.
gonna mess it up because all we're gonna do is pull up a chair and wait for the check to come first of the month.
And you know how I feel about Puerto Rico. They should be independent.
So we have our own
America.
opinion on Puerto Rico, but I feel like I had something to say, but I forgot listening to you. But I feel like when it comes to like when Donald Trump was down there handing out supplies
Or throwing paper
Paper
towels.
toilets.
again, I've said this before. I feel like I blame the Puerto Ricans for that
Why?
because Puerto Ricans do everything like it's a party. So Trump was to be like, yo. That's what I feel. And I feel like they just edited out the music, deleted some people in the crowd.
We didn't see the whole side of it. You're
Yeah,
saying. Okay.
I'm saying it was edited. You see him throwing it. I can hear the music in the background.
Trump walking in playing dancing salsa. Hey, like they don't know.
That's what I feel about that. And he wasn't be like, yo, man, I was having a good time. The media, the fake media jacked me up again. He goes, the light. What was the recent thing he said? Oh, my God. It's so
Of that,
funny.
when the other hurricane came?
No, forget about the hurricane. You didn't hear about the thing where he was like, the reason why I'm orange is because the light bulbs in the White House make me orange. No, nigga, you orange. That's it.
What about when he called his son Melania? He said Melania has a son. Did you hear that?
No.
When he was talking about how he's gonna make vaping illegal, and he goes, Melania was right there, and he goes, Melania, she has a son together.
You mean your son?
He goes, she's worried about it. He was like, she's got a son. And then he realized, he goes, together. So you know he has done nothing
that kid's
ever
life?
for Barron. No, he barely knows Barron. Like,
She must have been like, honey, you want to see the baby? We have a baby.
yeah, exactly.
He's like, whose baby is that one this time?
Yeah.
Whose baby is this?
Who's that kid?
Does he have a shred of orange?
Didn't I deport that
Or
baby?
like, you know the lawnmower meme where there's that kid, there was some kid that was like mowing the lawn in the White House and Trump's like yelling at him. It's like a real picture. I forgot what the context was, and they always make memes with it.
Yeah. They love that.
So like one of them is like, are you Barron? Like he's asking the kid, are you Barron?
Who's my boy?
Yo, so you see, this is exactly what I think people need to hear and witness, that there are people that are on opposite sides of the aisle that can just have open up conversations with Trump in particularly. I think if you acknowledge the ridiculousness of the way he goes about it, to me has to be on purpose.
I don't think so.
I think it's on purpose. He's looking for the media to cover him. You know what he said? He came off the helicopter. He's landing to going home, whatever, the White House. And this guy that recently resigned or got fired from some position, high position. I always have his name, but I never have it when I want to talk about it. And it was Secretary of Defense or something.
Yeah.
Like
Mattis?
Mattis?
No.
Mattis?
Whatever. So he's gone, and then he gets off the plane. He's like, he's like, how's the applicants going applying for the position? He was like, oh, we have a lot of them. We have so many applicants. But let me tell you, it's going to be the easiest job in the world. And let me tell you why. I'm like, yes, Trump, please tell me why. He goes, because you don't have to do anything. I make the decisions anyway. I'm like, of course. Of course it's the easiest job. Can I apply? Because I just want to laugh. I want to see your day-to-day routine. How many chicken nuggets are you eating, dude?
I'm just exhausted. Like, I just cannot wait for the day where it's not like 3 things he did today. Like, I just want.
Maybe they should just. I mean, he's
I'm
the president. It's
tired.
hard to
The
not pay
thing is
attention
that
to
the
him.
media
Yeah.
is, it's hard not to pay attention. I mean, he has this title, and the media see that it's money.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bread, hardcore
Yeah.
bread. Because you pointed out very, very well, what was the news
Yeah.
before Trump?
Maybe if they ignored him, he would get work done.
Do you remember Obama? It was like,
The only thing I remember about Bush and Obama is that Bush was in the Illuminati and Obama was Antichrist.
Yeah.
That's the word around town.
the most I can remember.
I don't know why that was like popular.
And the
around.
tan suit. Obama,
Oh, the tan
one
suit.
time,
Oh my
Obama wore a
gosh.
tan suit, and that was everyone was mad. The Republicans were
over.
mad.
So my thing with him, all I remember with the tan suit, I remember that.
Yeah,
And
brown
all-
on brown, 2 shades of brown.
All I remember from Obama, and I voted for Obama.
Yeah.
So every president I voted won. Ew. But with him, the only thing I remember was like seeing videos of him how he shakes white people and then gives the pound to black people. That's what I remember about Obama, and that he got Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than that, what else you got? Trump every 5 minutes.
He got gay marriage.
He got the gay marriage. That's true, the gay marriage. But again, with Trump, it's like
Oh, I know.
all the ridiculous.
It's exhausting. It's embarrassing.
It's
I don't like it.
hilarious.
Trump?
I'm not a fan.
I think it's hilarious.
I think he's
I don't
like,
think it's embarrassing at all.
I think he's
It would be hilarious if he wasn't president of the United States and
I think that makes
making
it better.
policies.
Right.
Like
That makes it more
that would be
funnier.
fine if it was a reality show. But this is like our country, and he's destroying it. I feel like.
I mean, again, everyone is entitled to their opinion,
Yeah.
and that's where we want to create that space where you can say that, and we're not gonna come down on you. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'm not. I actually, did you see Joe Biden in the debate, him almost losing his teeth.
No, Joe
yeah,
Biden
yeah.
almost lost his teeth.
Oh,
Uh,
horrible! And then
He did it so good though. He fixed himself super fast. Like,
whoever caught it definitely had fake
yeah,
teeth.
yeah. Because I didn't notice it on the first viewing.
I didn't notice it.
It wasn't until they like zoomed
They
in.
had
and,
to
slowed
point it
down.
out to me where it was like, oh.
there was a couple times where Trump had this kind of weird speech thing, and they thought maybe something was going on with his dentures, or
He's
that he
a
was
lizard.
having a
He's actually
stroke.
lizard person.
He is a lizard, orange
lizard.
lizard. He's an orange.
I believe
lizard.
Kelly Conway. Do you remember V from
Yeah.
the 80s?
Yes.
That's such a good
It
analogy.
was a mini series
No,
in the
man.
80s. It was I was terrified. It was
In the
about aliens that
2000s.
look like humans,
But
but they at night they rip off their skin and they're lizards. And I think Kellyanne Conway is that. I
But-
think every night she rips her face off and it's like a lizard.
Oh, I
from
thought
V.
she walks around like that. She looks like a lizard.
She just puts like foundation over it.
And then Biden is referring to Bernie Sanders in
Yeah.
something, and he goes, President Sanders, and he caught it.
Oh, I know.
Damn.
Yeah. That
You know
was
what's
it.
crazy though? In
He's
this
losing
in
it.
this last debate, Biden didn't look that bad.
He didn't look bad, but when he's talking about like, we gotta turn off the record cassette players and
it's weird.
what?
He's a little bit older.
It's weird.
I don't hate him.
Excuse me?
I like. I don't like. I find entertaining. I wouldn't vote for her, Marianne
Conway
Williamson,
Williams.
the kooky
Oh
lady.
yeah. She's the one that was talking about how the. Remember she was saying about
She's the one that was like
Light and love and like
Yeah, but recently she
New
was
Zealand.
she was on an interview in the news, and she was like, I get it. The conservatives are nicer to me than the people on my own party.
Yeah.
Oh, she did.
She actually said that.
They didn't think they were recording her.
They didn't think
caught
she
her,
was.
yeah.
She was sitting there like, I get so much slack from my own party.
Yeah.
I don't get that from the conservative side. So again, there's extremes in all areas, but
Yeah.
if you're not in the conversation, you're not voting.
You gotta watch the debates because you get a better understanding of what they
It's
what they like.
sounds like.
I was more not at you, but I was mad at people that didn't vote versus the people that voted for Trump, because there's so many people that didn't vote, or they voted for like a fake person. They didn't want to vote for Hillary.
They
so
put their own name.
I'll put my-
that makes me more angry than like people that voted for Trump, because I think if all the people that didn't vote or put a fake name, I don't think he would have won.
Well, he just.
I don't know because that would have the way it breaks
popularity.
the way if let's say New York,
Yeah.
if 1,000 a million more people voted in New York for Hillary, he still would have won because
He-
that state is already hers.
Yeah, this
So it
state
doesn't
is
matter.
already blue, right?
Yeah.
Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, this state
At
is
that,
blue.
there's a certain point where it's like, all right, it's yours.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's another.
Each
thing.
state basically gets its own vote, not people, because it's not
As a whole.
it's not a democracy; it's a constitutional republic.
So
People
yeah,
call it
and a lot
democracy,
of
it's
people
really
don't understand the difference between the two and how it works. And you could easily Google it. The teacher master Google Sensei will tell you what it's about. You just got to do some reading. So yeah, I mean that's definitely something. I mean, again, it's so important that you put your vote out there, and if you do your research and study a little bit about the top names, there's only like two. And just go back on their stands and where they come from. You could pretty much surmise where you stand in the whole. But if you don't do the due diligence, then your vote is almost voided. You're going in there blind.
But even like Marilyn, for you, like, because you're interested in like prison reform and these kind of things, like voting on the lower elections, not just presidency, but like attorney general or whatever.
You could literally Google prison reform Democrats
and find out
prison
who's
reform,
running for what and how it
Republicans.
affects that. Like, there's all these like other elections that people don't participate in that you can just Google it, a week before and figure out where you stand.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean to
Rock the vote.
rock the vote. But it's coming
Don't
up.
vote if you're stupid though. That's my only worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
People that are
that's what
dumb,
I'm-
it's like you
I'm
know
not
what you're doing.
saying-
Just
wait,
take
hold
She's
on.
smart.
I'm not saying you're stupid.
it's
I was
okay.
just
We
suggesting
want you to
go out there and
vote.
Google.
We want you to vote.
We want you
We
to
don't
vote.
want me to vote.
So that's pretty much it. You see how easy it is to do an episode? You guys carry the conversation pretty much on your own.
You guys are naturals.
You guys are naturals on this. No rehearsal. I think the way I look at it is when you go in raw like that with nothing, you come out more sincere. Right? And that's why we do it the way we do. We are part of Inconsistent Media. This is thebasementny.com. Any last thoughts?
I just realized that there's a transformer on the table this whole time.
Optimus
yeah.
Prime.
Is Optimus Prime
I don't
is
know
on
why
the
that's
table. I don't know why it's there either.
We could talk about trends later if you want.
Okay.
Trans robots. Oh my gosh. So this episode
robots.
of the podcast is brought to you by Chocolate Almonds, where they're not sponsoring us, but you can get your local bag at
Edward Mark,
Costco's.
chocolatier.
Noel, you got something for us?
For libertarian. Nobody's running.
We'll put a little bit of links on the bio if you guys want. You know, you guys will send it to you. You guys could like it. And then we'll go from there. And then we definitely. When does the Handmaid's Tale pick up again?
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah,
because they just ended the latest season.
Does anyone watch, like, I'm obsessed with zombie apocalypses? Does anybody watch any apocalyptic shows?
I gave up on
I
Walking
love.
Dead.
We should make an episode about zombie apocalypse. What would we do? What would we do?
Scenarios.
Oh, like the best movies? Or?
No, like
what would we do?
right
Like,
now.
those that
If
happen
it
right now.
really happens.
Oh, I know. Yeah, so we
gotta
can do
record
that.
another one.
So
You know?
that's
You know?
what we're gonna
Yes,
do.
Okay.
We're gonna be back with that topic and many more with these two young ladies. This is thebasementny.com. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
That's it.
Yay, that was fun.
Right? You guys are.
Inconsistent.